Yeah, hi there, this is tuxache.com again. Welcome on my video channel. A couple of days ago, ON1 released their new Photo RAW converter 2022.5, a new version, and after I think it's a year now of the last review of 2021 ON1 Photo RAW, I thought it might be a good idea to take this program and make a short little review on the newest functions. Okay, let's go to the computer and take a closer look on those functions. Okay, I downloaded and installed the ON1 Photo RAW 2022.5, but this time on Macintosh Air, just to see how it works on this system. And let's take a closer look. What I still like, even though I'm here in my catalogs, is that the images are grouped by folders I have on my hard disk, and that I would wish a sort of grid view like you have in Lightroom, where the images are presented without any grouping by folders as such or file system. So you have them ordered by capture time or import time or something else. Okay, the second pretty annoying thing is under preference. It's still there. If you go here under services, you still got the main three big services in terms of cloud services. That's Microsoft, Google, and Dropbox, of course. But there is no option for OnCloud or Nextcloud services you installed on your own service. Okay. What is supposed to be improved on ON1 Photo RAW 2022.5 is the sky replacement, which was introduced in the this version in version 2022, and now in the 2022.5 version it's supposed to be improved a little bit. Let's take a try here. Let's take this raw file where there is almost no detail in the sky. And now when I go to develop here to the sky tab, it's of course calculating the mass which is needed for this one. And now I can insert a sky like I like this one, for example. I can do another one. Of course, I can do own sky portions if I import them under extras, and that's is just an example. And like the other ones, of course, I can change the horizontal position of the sky image and so on and so forth. If I go here in the 100% view, it's pretty good this time, because those fine trees here are still masked out pretty correctly, so the image in a whole works, I think. Maybe we try another one. Let's take this one, for example. That might be a little bit difficult. If we go here to the sky tab, insert a sky like this. That's the same. Maybe we take another one, like this one. Okay. But here you can see the fine power lines here resulting from this column here are not properly masked out, though ON1, like most of the other programs too, like Luminar or even Photoshop CC, struggle with those kinds of images. But the sky replacement is done pretty good so far. Okay, let's cancel this one. Maybe we go to this one. ON1 Photo RAW included the resize AI into ON1 Photo RAW 2022, and you can call it right away here from the catalog view if you want to. Let's go like this, edit and resize, and now I am presented the different options here which can be used for resizing the image, either by percentage, the absolute pixel in the long or the shortest edge, or by percent or something like that. And they integrated battery size, which means you can mark say 4 or 5 images and resize all of those images by, let's say, 200 or 300%. And ON1 Photo RAW will do this in one batch job. Okay, let's cancel this one and let's go here to this image, for example. As you can see here, that is pretty noisy here, especially in that region around the street lamp. And if I go here under noise and sharpening, you find a new tab here, no noise AI. And here you got a split view for the old and the new preview done with the new routine. And if I go to navigator, I can go like to the bottom of the street like this one. And I hope you can recognize is that No Noise AI does a pretty good job, but they included a new method, and that is the high detail method. That's supposed to be used for images that are non-RAW images like JPEGs or TIFFs. And it's supposed to work better on those images, while the No Noise AI, like other apps too, like Opacity Noise and others, will start with the raw image before you take any further image processing. They want to denoise the image first, and that is what is happening to the raw image on this one. And the last thing I have to show you, we can cancel this, go back to the catalog, and maybe we take this one for an example. And what you can see here, it's recognized because it was in the metadata, but this image was taken with a fully manual lens, the Laowa C Dreamer on a Lumix G9. And so it will take the lens profiles for this specific lens for correcting chromatic aberration, vignetting, and so on and so forth. But you have the option in the new version to manually override these corrections, or if you have a lens which is not recognized properly because they maybe because of missing EXIF data or so on, you go to manual here, and then you can adjust like the different fringings and vignetting and so on and so forth. And after you corrected one image manually with a certain lens, ON1 asked you if you want to use this for further correction or future correction if this lens is recognized. So you can do that, and ON1 Photo RAW will use your manual corrections on your either manual lens, as I said, or on a lens which is not properly recognized by the system and the metadata. And of course, talking about new lens profiles, the ON1 Photo RAW people added just over 200 new lenses or profiles for these lenses, but now they should be up to the standard now. And if you have a lens which is not recognized, you can manually override these settings. As you could see, if I did it first time on the MacBook Air to review a program like that, and to me it worked out pretty good. Of course, to me the most important new function is the one with the manual override of the lens profiles, where you can either manually correct a given profile, or in some cases, if you have an older lens or something like that, where you don't find a lens profile in ON1 Photo RAW itself, you can create one. And the cool thing is, every time you apply this lens profile, ON1 will ask you if you should apply this lens profile or the correction of a given profile every time it occurs this lens from your images. That's a pretty cool feature, I think. The improvement in the sky replacement, okay, they are there, but there are still some images like the one with the power lines I showed you, where those AI functions just simply struggle and they mask out too much, so that the sky will lay over the power lines or anything else like that. And then you have to manually correct this, but that's pretty hard to do that. So you might as well have to live with it or wait on a new routine. On the other hand, the improvements in the sky replacement, like the other scene with the sunset, that ON1 at least try to color the foreground so the image will match between the sunset I choose to replace the sky with and the foreground, so it had a little bit of more of warm color. Another thing is that they implemented Resize AI. That's something like you maybe know as super resolution in Photoshop CC to enlarge an image by a given factor, so you have just more pixels if you need them for larger prints or so on. That works out pretty good, and now you have the chance to batch process a couple of images with certain parameters, like increase the size of the image by 200% or double the size of the longer edge or something like that. That's done pretty good. And of course, they implemented talking about the lens profiles again, over 200 new lenses into ON1 Photo RAW. So that's a pretty good update compared to the last function. And if you already own the license of ON1 Photo RAW 2022, this update is free of cost. And talking about the costs, ON1 Photo RAW is with a regular price of I think about 120 or 130 euros. Yeah, let's say pretty cheap if you consider that now you have implemented functions like No Noise AI and Resize AI, and ON1 lets you choose the model for paying the program. Either you buy a license for a regular price, or you go for a subscription model where you pay a price monthly, but you're free to choose from just like you like it. And if you have some troubles with subscription models, you might as well say you buy a regular license, and the next update you can skip that if there are not enough new functions implemented in these new versions. It's your choice. Okay, that was my little review on ON1 Photo RAW, the 2022.5 version, which was released last week. And if you have any questions, you might as well place them into the comments or in the comments of the corresponding blog posts. And if this video was a little bit helpful to you, you might consider placing a like on the video, and I surely would appreciate if you subscribe my channel. But then don't forget to hit the bell so you get a notification every time I upload a new video. Okay, that was my little review on the new ON1 Photo RAW version. And all I have to say till the next time, ciao, tux oche.